Hello, Tech Savvy Agent fans. I'm here with Connie Barnes. How you doing, Connie?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing quite well. I'm excited to be here with you today because I found your website, or technically I didn't find your website. I saw a video that you created, and I was on Google Plus and stumbled across this video, and the video just really struck a chord with me because it was a video on how your photos are different and your marketing is markedly different from everyone else's. So I wanted to ask you about that video that I found and also a little bit more about your website. So do you know what video I'm talking about, Connie?
Are you talking about the one on Diablo Trail?
Yeah.
Which? Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
no. Actually, that one's very good too. That's your latest one that I just saw. The one I'm talking about is the one where you display other agents' photos right next to your
Yes,
photos.
yes. Well, and that's so important too. And I do show that to clients when I go out on listing appointments because, I don't think half of the people out there know what actually gets put on MLS once
Yeah.
you sign a listing agreement. And if they saw how the photos came out, I don't think they'd be happy. And so it's real important for us to be able to show them when we go out there to list the home what we can do for them, why we are better. And so much of it has to do with how we photograph the homes, the videos that we do. And, with some of the videos, I remember there's one that Jim had done where it had a beautiful fountain, it had a beautiful swimming pool with a waterfall, and I went to the open house to hold it open, and I couldn't get the fountain to turn on. And people come in to the open house, and I said, I'm so sorry I can't get that fountain on. I'll figure it out in a second. And they said, oh, no worries. We've already seen it on. We've seen it in the video. So it was just wonderful, and people connect. They spend a lot of time with the marketing that we do on the web, and then that gets them happy and gets them connected with us to come and see the home.
Yeah, and it really resonated with me. I haven't seen anyone else do something quite so similar and actually take the same property that I guess other agents listed before and then that you listed afterwards, and you can see the same room and the huge difference between the photographs, and it just resonated so much.
Well, it's the difference between using a telephone or a tiny little camera and taking one shot.
Which you have that video, or you have that section on your website, iPhone photography versus your photography, and that's what I really want to talk to you about, the marketing on your website. You have an entire marketing section that goes through the difference between you and other agents and even lays out your marketing plan. Before you even meet with somebody, they can go on your website and see how you are different, how you're going to be more effective, right?
Exactly. And in that respect, I'd probably pass that on to Jim, my husband, who handles all our marketing.
Okay.
And let me grab him. Jim, here he is.
Thanks, Connie.
Thank you. So nice talking with you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Okay. So we're talking about marketing, and Jim, for our audience here, Jim is Connie's husband, and he is the brains behind the marketing. And I'm going to have a link here in this Tech Savvy Agent post where you can go to Connie's website and check it out and really see when you hit the marketing drop down, there's so many options there that differentiate you from the competition. Not only just your photos, but your marketing plan, your internet marketing plan that I looked at. How and why did you come up with this entire section of your website?
When we first got into the business, we noticed that, or we got into the business together in 2008, and that was when the market was crashing. We totally did a reevaluation of what the new real estate market needed, and the marketing was painfully pathetic. And in being in marketing my whole adult life, I said, there's a real opportunity here to kick the door open and perhaps make some changes. And I was told by one of Connie's office managers a long time ago that I didn't know anything about real estate marketing. And you know what? He was absolutely right. What I saw I didn't like, and I wanted to change it. So part of what we were running up against is that when you talk to people, there's an education process that needs to take place. people don't know that there's something better unless you explain it to them.
Right.
And then we have been doing this for a number of years now, and now we can point to results. We point to sales results. Connie is the #1 RE/MAX Gold agent in Northern California right now, based on her sales volume. And she's one of the top 54 in the whole RE/MAX organization nationwide.
Wow.
So we're getting results for people. We give them the confidence that the programs we put together are national in scope, not local, because we want to draw a national audience. And now we're getting attention from folks like you, and it's great. It's all part of the education process. So that's why that effort goes into saying, here's why you don't want to use an iPhone to take your pictures. Here's why you want to use professional photographer or professional photography equipment. And then there's studies from Redfin, the Wall Street Journal's published it. You probably have seen it.
Yep.
And it shows that people actually tend to get a higher price when that listing was photographed with a professional piece of DSLR equipment.
Yeah. Now, if you have a $200,000 listing or a $2 million listing, do you provide the same type of photography?
Yeah, and it's appropriate to the home, because not all homes will show as well as the $2 million one. So obviously there's going to be a lot more work that goes into a higher end home.
Right.
But I still come there with my equipment, and I shoot and make that home look as good as it can. We give them the same national marketing function. So, realtors tend to, at least what I've seen and what I've noticed, is that realtors a lot of times will look at a listing, and let's say if it's a lower end listing, they tend to cost justify how much they're going to spend. Maybe they're just going to shoot it themselves with an iPhone and be done with it. And then, if you got a higher end listing, obviously it's going to generate more commission. Maybe I'll hire the photographer on this one. And maybe if it's a much higher one, then we're going to get the video guy out and so forth. What we try to do is try to build our brand based on the quality of all of our listings. We look at, my recommendation for people that are in the real estate business is try to look at your business long term. If you're going to have 10 listings, 50 listings, if you do 100% on each one, and you will be able to sell into that segment. For example, in the mid-price segment, and if you're doing luxury home marketing in the mid-price segment, that's going to make you stand out from all the other listings on the internet. And obviously, that's where people are going to shop for homes, and that's where we want to be #1 there.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned before we hopped on this interview here to me that in 2008, I think it was, you started off and you were like, what one thing can we do better than everyone else? And can you kind of take me down that story here again and for our audience?
Yeah. Again, in 2008, Connie and I were looking at each other, and neither one of us had any business after the economic collapse.
Right.
Her listings dried up. My clients dried up. So, we wanted to take a look at the market again. From a marketing standpoint, you always want to say, where are the opportunities that you can exploit? And the marketing was something that we could come together on day one and say, we're #1 at something. And Connie's always said this, is that when you're out there in the marketplace, you want to be able to communicate to people why you're #1. Even if it's #1, you do something special. For us, it was my ability to be able to take great pictures,
right,
and present a home in the way people can imagine it, in a way that is natural to the way your eye sees it, as opposed to, again, the way it's been done. So we, right out of the box, could say we were #1 at something. And then very soon we became #1 in sales in the office. And then soon after that, we became #1 in sales in our local community here. And then it just went on from there. And you just build on that concept and say, now we want to be #1 on the internet. We wanted to do that early on as well. Mm-hmm. And it worked hours in weeks and months and years to get that SEO rating up, to build content that was interesting to people. People love to search for homes. They want a quality search engine product. But then, we built out the marketing piece as an educational tool for our clients. And, Connie takes a lot of the things that we have on our website. She puts it on her iPad with the Retina display.
Yep.
And it's something you can sit down with a client, educate them. And, while a lot of people are pre-sold on us when they interview, you still need to close the deal. and show it, that we're for real. Right. It's not just the website, but we are for real. And that we bring a marketing plan presentation that is a distillation of a lot of the elements on the site. It works.
Let me ask you one last question here, because on Tech Savvy Agent, a number of times before we talked about the importance of being transparent and letting people know what you're going to do ahead of time and why you're different. And obviously, you guys are doing that. I mentioned to Connie in the beginning, you have a massive section on your website about your marketing and how you're different. What type of traffic? I mean, do people really enjoy that part of your website? Do you get a lot of traffic there? And how do you think it's helping your business?
Overall, the majority of traffic is repeat users using our web search function.
Right.
They want to find local MLS listings, and the product that we use is very user friendly, and I think some agents even use it. So that overall, that's where the majority of traffic gets. But if you want to look at a particular section, the marketing section gets a lot of attention, and frankly, that's from people looking to interview agents. They're attracted to that. We refer people to it, and then I do something, I don't know, it's kind of geeky, but I've got a second monitor.
We like geeky stuff.
And I look at Google Analytics real time, and I'm watching for what keywords people are using while I'm doing other work, and I'll see people searching for real estate marketing, and a lot of them, I'm sure, are other agents, photographers. The Google Plus is, the exposure on Google Plus is, we belong to a photography community, real estate community, and
that's how I found you.
Yeah, and Google Plus is a fantastic place to interact with other professionals, and that's where where Connie and I can interact with people and answer questions. And
so it's not just your website having that marketing section there and people going to it and getting traffic there, but it's also Connie bringing it in and being able to display the type of marketing that you do and separate yourself from the competition on the iPad in front of the person. So it's a two-pronged attack, more or less.
Well, actually, there's even more to it, because when I'm going to bring it back to the beginning again.
Okay.
We developed when a company starts, you figure that you need a brand. You need to be able to say, what is my brand going to be? And part of the other piece of the equation is that we have a fantastic team that supports Connie. We've got the top buyers team in the region right now. One of the reasons of the top buyers team is that website. People looking for homes, bang, or they find us on Realtor.com or Zillow or Trulia, and so if you're looking to recruit buyers, having a great website is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So getting back to our brand, we developed the team concept because one of the things that we were looking at exploiting in the marketplace when we started is that the thing people didn't like about the real estate agent is that they wouldn't answer their phone. They're in contract, or they need a response, and they said, please call me back. And we call people back right away, or we answer the phone. Every team member takes turns answering we call it the bat phone, which is our primary number. And people are constantly amazed, you got back to me right away. Or if it's by email, I'll even intercept it and I'll send it to one of our team members and say, here's a buyer, get back to him right away.
Through Google
We
Voice.
get great leads. And the fact that we're responsive, I believe, is part of that success.
Well, that's great. Well, Jim, I don't want to take up too much more time out of your day. I appreciate the time that you spent already, and Connie, and speaking with the Tech Savvy Agent audience. Do you have any final or last words of wisdom or recommendation for maybe a newer agent or an agent trying to make their footprint in the business?
Well, I've gotten some emails from agents that are wanting to start. They're inspired to do more and to do better. And some of the things we've said is find out what you can do really, really well.
Yeah. And
look at your competition. Look at your competition's websites. What can you do to improve? And I think the biggest, the low-hanging fruit out there, honestly, is make those listings look better. Yeah. Buy, upgrade, get a better piece of gear when you go out and shoot, or find a great local photographer and partner with that photographer. And don't worry if you're not making as much money on this listing. When you have a great presentation, that's going to help you get new clients.
You're tugging on my heartstrings here. Great words of wisdom. Well, thank you for your time, Jim, and hopefully we'll have you on the show again.
Great. Hey, check us out on Google Plus, Connie Barnes Real
Oh
Estate.
that's the other thing. If you join in the name, it's Photography for Real Estate is the specific Google Plus community that I found you in, right? But
Right.
also, if anybody has any questions for you, why don't you give the Google Plus domain name, because you said you would respond to some questions if they posted to your Google Plus page, right?
Yeah, we'll respond. Photography questions, real estate questions.
Awesome. So
That's the best place to do it.
So I'll put the link in there. Great, Jim. Thank you very much.
Okay, Steve.